who is going to fight and win the heavyweight championship. Well, he got the first part. He's fighting tonight for the heavyweight championship. We'll see if he can win it.
Well, he's an enigma to some people because of the fact that he's an athlete in so many other sports. And then coming in here for boxing and seeing what he can do. He's had tremendous success. Right now, inside the ring, they're getting ready for Klitschko and Bostis. Vladimir Klitschko from the Ukraine, 32-1, 30 knockouts.
One of the Klitschko brothers, who people are kind of saying these might be the future heavyweights of the coming down the line, but his brother Vitaly had a bump in the road. He lost to Chris Bird, lost his WBO title a short time ago.
Injured his shoulder as well in that fight. So Klitschko, his only loss is to Ross Purity, by the way.
He ran out of gas in that one, but most boxing experts over in Europe say that he's the better of the two Klitschko brothers.
So he gets some excellent international exposure tonight.
Well, he was funny at the press conference this week that you got the two guys up top, Lewis and Grant, calling this show too big. He's 6'5", his opponent 6'5". He said, you know, maybe we should call it 4 big.
4 big. Too big to be on the undercard.
I know.
There's David Bostis, Mesa, Arizona. 21-1-1 with the 12 knockouts. His loss is to Israel Cole. So these guys have big numbers, gaudy numbers, and yet the losses, they'll probably shake their head at both.
I'm sure, you know, sometimes you lose a bout to a big name, but these didn't lose to big names. So it's a little stumble in the road for both of these guys. I was talking to some of the people who make the fights for HBO, and they said they wanted to see how Klitschko did against Bostis, a guy with a decent record, and, you know, see how he handles himself.
See if he can move up one more level and be taken seriously, because they would love nothing better than to have a big fighter with an international following do well, and it just makes for big paydays in all fights throughout the world. So let's see if Klitschko can do that tonight and in subsequent bouts. He has won 8 in a row.
Maybe he's a future opponent for Lennox Lewis if Lennox Lewis wins tonight. That would be a big fight over in Europe.
Sure would be, especially if he wins in eye-popping fashion. Klitschko is 24 years old.
He's also the smaller of the two Klitschko brothers. Vitaly's like 6'8" and growing.
Well, why don't you eat? You know, you're only 6'8".
Nice shot inside the garden. Very pretty shot, too.
A storied arena that's now so many big fights. Ali Frazier, one was in here.
So was 2.
And so was Roberto Duran. Never forget the night he fought Davey Moore in here. With utter electricity in the building that night. Marvin Hagler was so happy when he was finally able to fight in the garden, when he beat Mustafa Hamsho the second time.
And so was Sugar Ray Leonard, but it didn't work out too well against Terry Norris.
No, this was not too kind to Sugar Ray at that point.
I'm looking in the arena. I remember as a kid buying a ticket, sitting not too far from where we are, just overlooking the ring. And it was always a draw to come here and watch. You know, they'd announce there's a fight card at the Garden. You bought a ticket. You didn't care who was on. You just knew it was going to be a good fight.
Such was the history of this building, and then usurped when the casinos came along. And all of a sudden, instead of promoters paying rentals to properties, they were getting site fees from casinos, so that changed the business dynamics of boxing. But anytime the Garden steps back into it, the crowd is still there. They don't draw badly here whenever they put something back in.
No, that title, the Mecca that they call this building, is well deserved. When they put on a fight here, everything else kind of stops and people just watch it.
Yeah, you just get the feeling whether it's anything, it will do well. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Klitschko, 24 years old. Bostis, 28. And the height the same, 1.96 meters for both. And a little bit of a reach in the advantage for Klitschko, 207 to 201 in the centimeters department. And 110 to 105 kilograms for Klitschko. And here tonight,
rules New York State 10-point scoring must system. The 3 judges are scoring the fight. There is no 3 knockdown rule. There is no standing 8 count. A fighter can be saved, cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight. Accidental foul We go to the scorecards after the fourth round.
Anything before that is a technical draw.
New York City, where tonight, Panics of the USA, main events, and your undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, proud to be your bud, present an evening of professional boxing for your entertainment. All the bouts are sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission. Chairman Mel Southern, Commissioners Mark Kornstein and Rose Trentman, Special Assistant to the Chairman Jim Posanello, Executive Director Tony Russo, Director of Boxing Bob Duffy, Chief Physician Dr. Billy Lathan, Medical Director Dr. Robin Scarlatta. Ringside physicians are Drs. Stephen Marks, Gerard Barlotta, and Michael Fiorelli. Timekeeper at the bell, Jim Borzell, and the alternate referees will be counting for the knockdowns for all the bouts tonight. This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds and is for the WBA Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. The 3 judges assigned to ringside scoring the bout on a 10-point must system will be Tony Paolillo, Luis Rivera, and Sid Rubenstein. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Joe Santarpia. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to us from Mesa, Arizona with a professional record of 22 victories with only 1 loss and 1 draw, 12 KOs to his credit. He weighed in at 230 pounds, wearing the green trunks. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the challenger, David, the Boss Bostis. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue trimmed with white, weighing in at 242 1/2 pounds. His professional record an outstanding 32 victories with 30 KOs and only 1 loss, and he has captured 3 international titles, including the WBC Intercontinental title, and he's the reigning European champion. Ladies and gentlemen, from Kiev in the Ukraine, here is the reigning WBA Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Vladimir Klitschko.
Gentlemen, you both know the rules. I want a good, clean fight. Are there any questions? Shake hands now, and God bless you both.
Pretty good stare down, and then Bostis blinked.
Yes, he did.
A good look at Klitschko. He had the good poker face throughout that.
Still does.
Well, if he can fight to match his expression, it will be a very special performance for him.
Bostis coming out as the aggressor, trying to flick that left jab.
See, Klitschko will try to utilize a reach here. So he's just built for power.
Yep. About an 1.5 inch reach advantage. Really doesn't mean too much.
Sometimes with different fighters, it just looks like more, even if it's only an 1.5 inches or so, based on how they lean and how they use it. They can make it more. So the jab competition begins.
Well, Klitschko is stepping in with his jab, so there's a little pop behind it. Bostic just kind of flicking it out there like he's trying to time the right hand over the top, but I don't think he's in a position to throw the right just yet.
Klitschko has held up on a hook, and the right hand, we'll see how quickly he brings them into his arsenal. Just a minute in.
Klitschko could throw a left hook to the body because Bostic has that right hand up pretty high.
The boss is protecting. Now the hook is in there from Klitschko. Bostis is protecting that area that Klitschko has been scoring with the jab. And good jabbing here by Klitschko early on.
Bringing his hands down, but he can snap it from about chest level. He's trying to turn it over into a hook, so no body work yet, but just headhunting by Klitschko.
He scored nicely with the jab and then turned it into a hook. And a good shot and down is Bostis. You know, when you get a guy mesmerized by a certain pattern, you get a shocking knockdown.
Let's see how hard he's got to see if he can follow up.
Well, if he can do that to Bostis this early, let's see if he goes for the finish or does he regard it as a flash knockdown. Bostis right back on him. How wise is that? We'll find out.
Not throwing that left jab. He's letting Klitschko just walk in right now.
Klitschko so far winning this fight one-handed.
I think Bostis is almost out on his feet the way he's getting hit and just kind of slowly retreating.
He is in deep water thus far. Good hook by Klitschko, and now he could finish Bostis. But Bostis won't let that happen. He comes in and ties up. Klitschko really scored well with that left hook.
I think Bostis has the legs right now to get away from Klitschko.
And his legs have been compromised. And Klitschko doing a good job blocking and firing a hook as he fell away.
Nice
big hook again, and Bostis again in trouble. Will he make the round? He's in trouble. He can't answer. 7 seconds to go in the round. Bostis trying to hang on just to know what it's like to get through the first. Bell cannot save you. He must do it himself. Got a chance. He should be able to beat it. He does at 8. Gloves are shaking, and he'll make it back to his corner.
You okay?
Well, Bostis is in the fight for now.
Well, he's in the fight to get into the next round.
Let's see if they even let him out.
You all right?
Not.
You sure? Sure.
Big hooks here by Klitschko.
Sure. David, dropping your hand.
What would you tell Bostis in his corner?
Just first of all, ask him, do you want to continue? And then run until your head clears and you get your legs back.
Give me head movement. You want to fight, man? Yes. Okay.
1 minute doesn't seem like enough of a timeout when you've been dropped a couple times.
Okay.
Here's the first one.
All right.
Caught him with a looping left hook.
Second down.
Caught him in the temple area, it looked like. And then the second knockdown.
Short punch. Did the work.
Second punctuating a flurry. So Bostis able to shake off and come out for round 2.
Break. Step back. Come on, break.
The bell did not come a minute too soon for him. But Klitschko continues to try and finish this.
Still waiting for Klitschko just to go to the body, just to show a little different arsenal.
He could really make Bostis fold up if he did that.
Yeah, because all he's doing is protecting his head. He knows the head shots are coming, but the body shot is open for Klitschko.
Vladimir Klitschko, 2 knockdowns in round number 1.
Let's go.
And he's been used to early fights lately. Two-round knockouts and then a 1-round knockout in his last battle. Klitschko comes on again.
And Klitschko's punches are very sharp. He does seem like the better of the two
Break. Step
brothers.
back. Come on, boys.
Technique
Break.
is
Don't
concerned.
push off.
Doesn't waste
Break.
a lot of energy with his punches.
Well, it's something that you look at him and it's easy to be thrown off by the low security as down goes Bostis again. And now it's just a matter of
5.
how many knockdowns
6,
can he take? How
7,
much Klitschko
8.
can he take? And he's up at 9.
Sure. Walk me.
Klitschko's starting to use the right hand now. I don't, there's no reason for this to go on any
There's
further.
not much more that Bostis can offer. Has a reason to stay. Takes a shot to the temple area. Referee better jump in now. 4 knockdowns, and that's it, finally.
Finally, that's the beat.
So Vladimir Klitschko leaving nothing to be desired. Now, Tony, you mentioned about an opponent for Lennox Lewis. Well, if that would come up, what a way to begin the lobbying campaign.
Yeah,
What's the time?
very effective performance by Klitschko. I'm impressed that he didn't waste any effort with his punches. They were sharp, they were crisp. Only
127.
thing I was disappointed, it didn't go to the body. But then again, when you land on the head and you wobble your man, why not keep throwing there? Because he kept using the left to do the damage, and then he finally brought the right hand
127.
into his game plan.
And a very disconsolate David Bostis in tears after this knockout performance. You know, even though Klitschko had more notoriety, Bostis came in here figuring, hey, I'm 22-1. Why can't my 22-1 be as good as his record?
He started out just flicking that left jab to start the fight, but he just, no snap behind it, couldn't find anything. Couldn't find his head.
Klitschko with some pop, and you get a look at a very muscular guy, well-toned.
Thank you. 127.
Bostis can't figure out where it went wrong.
I think he was, thought he was going to take him out of there. Another chopping hit. He knows how to hit you to the temple and wobble you.
And at the end of it, good hand speed by Klitschko there, too.
Yep. Throws that right very quick. You know, he kind of just hurt him again by just sticking out the left jab. He's got a very hard jab.
Oh, no, you did it right.
Second shot there, over the top. Good blast to the temple area, and that just sets up the hook. And he's able to go right in.
You see Bostis kind of leaned into the punch. You know, that's the worst thing that can happen to you. Look at him ducking down. Klitschko just comes right into him. Bostis didn't tie up at all in this fight. I mean, knocked down 3 times. Didn't hold on at all. Then the 4th knockdown, that was enough.
For future opponents for Klitschko now, he's firing some shots here that were wide.
Yeah.
Would you expect in some future bouts he might tighten that up?
I think he just got sloppy at the end because, you know, it's just a matter of time before Bostis collapsed because, you know, he wasn't offering anything to slow him down.
So Klitschko makes it 9 in a row.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Joe Santana called the halt to the official time, 1 minute 20 seconds of the second round. The winner by TKO victory and still WBA Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Vladimir Klitschko.
So Klitschko sends a buzz through this crowd. 127 of round number 2. Keep your eyes on this guy.
It's funny, he got a very nice hand. And people who follow boxing know what happened to his brother against Chris Bird, but they wanted to see him, and they got a nice hand coming in and a better hand